It's all about the story. You could be the David versus Goliath. You could be a bully. You could be an idiot. You could be the victim. You could be the rightful owner with the same facts or virtually the same facts. It's all about the story. My name is Andrei Mincov, the founder of Trademark Factory, and in this video I'm going to share my thoughts about yet another trademarking screw up. This time around, it's a guy who is suing a theme park for trademark infringement, and the theme park is having none of it, and now the theme park is fighting back. All right, let me start by reading from the article. You can always find the link in the description below. California man gets sued after trying to trademark bully a theme park. All right, we've seen a great many examples of trademark lawsuits here at Tech Dirt. In most cases, those lawsuits are levied by individuals and companies that are the trademark bully, which, by the way, is not an accurate description, but Tech Dirt hates trademarks, they hate intellectual property, so pretty much every article they write is some form of saying that it's wrong for the brand owner to enforce their rights. But let's keep going. But that's not always the case. We also see plenty of suits that are raised in defense of such bullying, in which the entity suing asks the court to simply affirm that its use is not infringing. So this is true. In the US, you can ask for what's called a declaratory judgment when if you receive a cease and desist letter, a demand letter from somebody who claims that they own certain rights and you disagree with that, instead of waiting for them to take you to court, instead of waiting to see if you might be investing in building something that can be taken away from you, you can go to court yourself and ask for a declaratory judgment whereby the court will say that you're not infringing. And if you get that judgment from the court, then the party that sent you that demand letter can no longer do anything, because this has already been decided in a court of law and you can't sue the same issue twice. So that's what they're referring to. So let's keep going. Trademark bullies, of course, don't like when that sort of thing happens. Meet Scott Davanzo of California. Scott did a pretty cool thing and created a haunted house attraction in his garage, naming it the Mystic Motel. Then he came across the plans of the Silver Dollar City theme park near Branson for its new Mystic River Falls water rafting ride. At that point, he did the very uncool thing of contacting Mystic River over the trademark he had on his haunted house and demanding to speak about the name of the new ride. So again, in Tech Dirt's opinion, it's uncool to protect what you believe is your trademark. Apparently, the cool thing would have been to ignore people taking your brand for granted, right? So there's the other side of this coin, and I'm going to talk about this later, but there's really nothing uncool about you contacting someone that you think is infringing on your mark and saying, hey, that's my brand, you can't take it. That's the whole point of having intellectual property. That's the whole point of owning a trademark. Let's keep going. Scott Davanzo said he sent Silver Dollar City a letter earlier this year asking the theme park to contact him about the name, which he claims is similar to the Mystic Motel name he used for a haunted house attraction he started out in his garage. You have to police your trademarks, DeVanzo said. That's all we were doing is protecting what is ours. DeVanzo said he has sent many letters to other businesses that are similar to the one he sent Silver Dollar City. He said his letters are usually followed by a phone call where the two parties can work out some parameters for use of the name. Silver Dollar City, however, didn't bend the knee to DeVanzo. Instead, the theme park filed a lawsuit seeking to have the court declare that the name of its ride at a large-ish theme park doesn't somehow violate the trademark rights for a garage-based haunted house. The reported arguments Silver Dollar City makes are the ones you would expect, namely that its use of the word mystic isn't going to cause confusion among the public for a family project and neighborhood attraction. That's all the theme park wants, the reasonable use of the name of its ride. So it all boils down to whether there is confusion. Of course, that's what trademark infringement lawsuits are all about. Is there likelihood of confusion? So let's keep going. But Silver Dollar City doesn't stop there. The theme park also points out that DeVanzo didn't oppose its trademark application, didn't say a word about it until it came time for a money grab. And DeVanzo destroyed his Mystic Motel setup. Redoing it. The theme park also points out that DeVanzo did not oppose its trademark application, didn't say a word about it until it came time for a money grab, and DeVanzo destroyed his Mystic Motel setup entirely some time ago. Now that is very important, right? You can't enforce a brand that you don't use, right? That brand could be subject of cancellation proceedings, and that's what Silver City is implying. Upon information and belief, the Mystic Motel and Journey to the Polar Point marks were not in continuous use with those projects during certain years. Upon information and belief, the Mystic Motel and Journey to Polar Point marks were not used at all or in interstate commerce with those projects during certain years. Upon information and belief, the Mystic Motel mark does not appear to be in use at this time. Upon information and belief, Mr. DeVanzo and his family are not currently living in the Ladera Ranch house, and they appear to have no ability to offer the Dark House attraction under the Mystic Motel mark for Halloween this year. So they're making a lot of statements here. They're making a lot of allegations here, and their point is this trademark that DeVanzo has got needs to be canceled. But let me actually go through these statements one by one to explain why they're bringing them up. So first, they say that these projects were destroyed or deconstructed at some time. They're saying the mark is no longer in use. If the mark is no longer in use, it cannot be enforced against them building and running their own ride. Also, they say we're not in continuous use with those projects during certain years. Again, this is grounds for cancellation of that mark. Also, they say we're not used at all in interstate commerce, and that's another reason for cancellation, because when you file a trademark in the US, a federal trademark, you're supposed to show that the mark is being used in interstate commerce, which means that it's more than just a local thing, and that the goods and services are being offered to people from more than one state. And this is a very low threshold. So otherwise, you wouldn't be able to have, local restaurants or local other businesses that are local, but they can still own federal trademarks. So like I said, the bar is very low as long as the establishment has the ability to serve people from out of state, it's enough to show interstate commerce, right? So if, let's say you have a restaurant in California, if somebody travels from Nevada and eats at that restaurant, or can travel and eat, it would be sufficient to show use in interstate commerce. So this argument is probably not very strong, because if somebody, for whatever reason, wanted to travel from a different state to this guy's garage and enjoy the haunted house, they could. So, but again, that's what litigation is all about. You throw a lot of arguments and you see what sticks. So let's keep going. Also, they say that does not appear to be in use at this time. So when you're trying to cancel a trademark, you have to show that the mark is not in use now. And the defense to that is that the mark has been used, or had been used at some point in the last 3 years, and is either used right now, or that you have immediate plans to reinstate the use in the short future. Well, that you have immediate plans to reinstate such use in the near future. And so what the Silver Dollar City does here is they say, well, they're not using it now, and as far as we're concerned, they're not planning to use it anytime soon. Now it's up to the man to prove otherwise. And yeah, the same reason they're bringing up this idea that they don't live there anymore. They can't offer the attraction because they're not there. And if they're not there, they can't use the mark. So that's their argument. Let's keep going. In fact, the filing goes so far as to claim that Devanzo's trademark application itself may have been built on lies, where he claims to be using the Mystic Motel mark in interstate commerce but never did. On top of that, Devanzo created a separate company, Adrenaline Attractions, to which he assigned the trademark. Adrenaline Attractions doesn't provide amusement attractions, but instead consults with parks to design rides, which isn't the market designation for which Devanzo has his trademark. Also, Adrenaline Attractions appears to have exactly one customer. Again, this is not a story about confusion in commerce, but about a money grab. Well, look, there's nothing wrong with building an asset and expecting to make some money out of it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So, money grab. Well, business is money grab. The entire point of building a business is to make money. So vilifying someone for wanting to make some money off of the assets that they've built is kind of stupid. But there is more to the story. So here's what Devanzo is saying. This somehow rates with him as bullying. That's what they are, is the big bully. Devanzo said of Silver Dollar City, "I'm not a stranger to the court," Devanzo said, "and if I have to fight, I will." Any reasonable assessment of the situation would result in Silver Dollar City's request for declaratory judgment to be granted. I'd only like to add that it takes chops to bully a company over a trademark, have that company ask the court to defend it from the bullying, and then call the company the trademark bully. Maybe Devanzo can add an IP wing to his haunted house, except he doesn't appear to actually have one any longer. All right, they made some good fun of him, and I made some comments throughout the article, but there's a few more things that I want to say. A big deal of the outcome, and really how the story is going to look like to the outside world, depends on how strong or how weak your trademark is. The stronger your trademark, the more you can do with it. And I had a video about this just recently on this channel, but here's what I mean. If you have a very strong trademark, unique trademark, then if you go against someone who's using the same brand or essentially the same brand for essentially the same products or services, it's very likely that you'd be painted as someone whose products or services were pirated by somebody who's not a good person, right? So you would be painted as a good guy, and the other side would be painted as pirates. That would be the optics. Also, if you have a strong trademark and you see that somebody's using somewhat similar trademark for somewhat similar products and services, so a little bit more removed, you would still probably get away in the court of the public opinion with that, because the other side would be painted as trying to avoid being found infringing the mark, but still not smart enough to do that because it's still trademark infringement. But the second your trademark is not as strong, is not as unique, that's when you start running into problems. So if you have a weak trademark, but somebody else copies it exactly for exactly the same products and services, yes, still, you would be the one who says, yes, they're trying to protect their brand, they're doing the right thing. But if the other side is doing slightly different trademarks for slightly different products and services, that's when they start telling you, you're a bully. And the company that copied you, now they are the victim. That's what they're going to do. And the weaker your trademark, the more you're going to see that. The more you're going to see that people are going to be calling you a trademark bully, and they're going to be calling the other side the victim of your wrongful actions. Because to them, it's not that you're defending your rights, it's that you're overextending and that you're having a money grab out of the situation, and that there's really no likelihood of confusion, and that you're wrong and they're right. So that's exactly what's happening in this case. Mystic Motel is not super distinctive of a name, and to the extent that it is, it's very narrow, right? It's very narrow to the specific haunted house experience, to the specific name, Mystic Motel, with motel being at least as dominant as the word mystic. So when somebody else tries to create a ride that's gonna say, what was the name again? Mystic River Falls. Mystic River Falls is different enough from Mystic Motel. One is the ride, the other one is haunted house. The names are different. So you get into the situation when there's less confusion here, and your mark is not inherently distinctive anyway. And when you have that, then you are doomed to be called a trademark bully by websites like TechDirt and other journalists. So when you pick a brand for your business, make sure you pick something truly unique, right? There's this concept that I developed called jump brands. Juicy, unique, memorable, protected. That's what makes a brand truly valuable, right? Juicy means you love it. U stands for unique, M stands for memorable, and P stands for protected. So unless you have a brand that's truly unique, it's very difficult to build a big asset out of it or valuable asset out of it. So focus on coming up with something that sets you apart from the competition, something that sets you apart from everyone else who might be offering the same products and services in that market. I hope this is something that you found useful. The whole story, the reference to the jump brands. And by the way, if you've got a juicy, unique, and memorable brand that you want to protect, What you want to do is you want to go to trademarkfactory.com and book a free call with one of our strategy advisors and get your process started that way. And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, get notified whenever the next video goes live, click that bell button, ding, and like and comment. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.